Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to a brand new Darkmage4 Productions podcast, the very first ever, actually. My name is Nick, and I am 29 years old, and I wanted to start this up podcast because I wanted to have a lot of fun. I wanted to talk with you guys, story time, and updates about my channel, my YouTube channel. And what I want to get out of this podcast is basically just have fun. That's all I want to do. Is I just want to have fun and enjoy and talk with everybody. It's just basically all I want to do. So the time and dates uploaded would most likely be the first Saturday of the month for the audio version on Anchor, and on YouTube it'll be the first Sunday of the month at 6 p.m. Central Time. My very first podcast. It's a little different because I feel a little bit nervous. It's because it's something I've never done with a podcast, but I've talked in front of a camera and in front of, the microphone plenty of times. It's just that this is a little bit different. Maybe I can't really explain how different it is, really. Okay, so we got all the introduction out of the way. The more you listen, the more you'll know about me, the more I'm going to be talking about how the podcast is and how I'm going to have it all set up for each month, because I'm going to have it once a month. And then if I feel like it's actually a lot better than I expected, which I'm actually really hoping it actually works out, I want to go for maybe twice a month, 3 times a month, maybe, I don't know. It depends on how I want to do it, mainly because it's just how I want to, do it. I'm kind of talking circles right now. That's one of the biggest problems with doing that, is I actually just talk in circles and I don't know when to shut up. Before we get into the storytime portion of the podcast, I want to say a little note here about a group called Send It Society. They're a nonprofit organization. They have a very inspiring message, and they just want to get children off the couch, basically. Basically anyone for that matter, because I'm a couch potato at almost 30 years old. But I love doing what I'm doing, podcasting, making these videos, haunted, paranormal, etc. It's just, it's fun. It's amazing. Send It Society is a nonprofit clothing line, and with your help, they can actually donate to various charities. So anything that you do, if you purchase their clothing, they will donate any money spent. I've been watching their channel for a few years now, which TFIL. They do exactly what I do. At first, they did so much other stuff like that. They've broken world records, and it's absolutely crazy. I'll have their link in the description below to their channel, and you can see for yourself what they do. They're absolutely just... Elton is the owner and creator of it, and it's a 100% non-profit organization, and he is killing it in the YouTube game. Basically, if you use my affiliate code, which, yes, I will get a commission if you use my checkout code called INBEAN10. It'll all be in the description below. You can definitely make a difference in life. And we're going to go on to the story time. I was maybe between 10 and 15. Actually, was a lot older or younger. A lot younger than that. We used to spend the night at each other's houses when we were younger, and we played video games, and we just had a lot of fun. Went outside, jumped around on the trampoline, etc. But that's besides the point. All the time, we kind of felt like that there was somebody behind us, staring at us. We could feel the hair behind us on the neck just stand up. It was freaky. We always thought that someone was just staring at us. And it was kind of weird, because later on we found out that his basement is haunted. And it's haunted by 3 spirits. Well, 2 spirits and a demon, I should say. One is named Jane. The one, I don't remember the name. And of course, there's a demon that lives in the boiler room where the laundry and the furnace is. It's a big room, but it's got its own area for, maintenance stuff and whatnot. You go down the steps to the right. There is his boiler room into like it's a big long hallway, and then it turns into the boiler room. And then you go to the left is where the finished part of the basement is, and where there's a chair, not chair, but it was a couch down there where we sat on and played video games, whatever we had down there, toys, whatever. Well, boosted up to 10 years later, so about 15, 16, 17, somewhere around there. And he tells me that he found out that there are 3 spirits down there, 2 normal spirits and a demon. One probably a poltergeist, I'm assuming, because things would move around. It'd be weird. I don't know, like, how, but it was just, like, it was weird because, like, there's things on the bar in the finished portion of the basement, because there was a bar there before his mom and him got it when, they were young. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot about this. There was a dead duck down there. It was a stuffed taxidermied, and it was on the a little plaque thingy, and as kids, we were so freaked out by it. Like, we didn't really understand what it was. I mean, we knew it was a duck, but we didn't know it was what taxidermy was at that age. So it was very creepy. But let's get back to the story. The demon I never touched with or messed with. Kind of funny, I have a satanic symbol right behind me for those that are watching. Basically, what it was just very creepy. And then one named Jay. The reason why his name was Jay is because he didn't like any name with Jay, so we just kind of said the one with named Jay. It kind of just stood out, I guess. But that one, if you left it alone, it was actually fine. The other one liked to play tricks, move things around, and if you messed with it, basically, it was just friendly, like Casper the Friendly Ghost, basically. But it would just move things and have fun and trick things and, knock things off the wall like a poster or whatever. And we knew it was up there because we both, me and my friend at like 16, 17, put a poster up on the wall, and it just fell. Like, it ripped right through, like something pulled it down, and it ripped the top part of the poster. So that was not fun. That was scary, especially if we're just laying there and there's no wind, no nothing. And it was just, I hated it so much. I freaked out. So, the other one named Jay, there was one night, me and my friend were playing video games. I can't remember what it was that we were playing, but I think it was on the Wii or PlayStation 3. I think we're playing Modern Warfare, because that's when I brought my TV over and my PlayStation over, and we played back to back. So it was LAN. We played a LAN party, basically. Called it several different names. I just wanted to mess with one named Jay, because I called it Jack and Joe and whatever else, and it actually got mad at me. Why do I know it got mad at me? Is because I was starting to get really cold. I got super cold, and it was not fun at all, because I covered up, and there was a space heater in front of us to keep us warm. I mean, because it was kind of warm down there, but in the middle of winter, and the basements kind of do get cold and all that still, even though if it's heated. Sometimes, especially if the heater's not really working, and it wasn't really working that year. So basically, we stood in front of that space heater, and it did not matter at all. We were still freezing cold. The demon portion of it, I'm not too sure, because I really didn't give a notice to it because it was in the other room. It felt super weird, and when my friend's bedroom was above the boiler room and the laundry room, I should say, and as kids, it felt weird. We could see shadows, moving around, and it was just It was a very ominous and weird feeling. We always wanted to sleep out in the living room because the bedroom just felt very uneasy as kids, and it probably still is, but I haven't been to his mom's house in forever. Okay, I think that's going to be about it for the story time, and we're going to talk about the channel updates. So, as far as the YouTube channel goes right now, is that should have done 2 videos thus far. I'm actually doing this in advance. It's actually the 27th of December, and this coming Sunday, which I should have an EVP session out, and the next video should be this video, actually. Not much updates. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's Eve. I did. I'm actually downloading all my video games because I have a 5 terabyte external hard drive now from my brother, so that I could actually, instead of having 2 to 3 games on my PS4, now I can have 5 terabytes worth of video games. So I've got over 100 video games that are downloading at this moment, and that's awesome. I got a new chair that I'm sitting on right now. That's another. I actually had a podcast that I had done already, but I decided to change it because I got a green screen behind me that's gonna turn to black, hopefully. If not, I might just get like a black sheet or something like that so I can have it, darkened. And then this chair is brand new, so I'm up a little higher too, so it's a lot better. We're gonna have a guest air right now, and this will be the time I put guests on. I will be having a guest on after I say this, but I'll be having guests on after the story time and the updates and everything built before that. So the guests will be at the end of the guests will be at the end of the podcast, basically, because I can get through all my stories and then talk with them for 15-20 minutes, and then have them tell me their paranormal stories, or tell us, their paranormal stories. Maybe even banter, talk here and there, about certain things. Maybe take it an hour long instead of maybe a 15-20 minute video. It'll be an hour long video, which would be great. Depends on anything like that. And now we are going to be talking with our guest.
Hi, my name's Melinda, and I am 32 years old. I am a lover of all things paranormal and occulty. Nick and I actually became friends through the paranormal.
Yes, we did.
We did. We actually became friends through a Facebook group for YouTube channels. And Nick was sharing his stuff, and then I was sharing mine. Mine's called Nightmare Nocturne, and I actually read scary stories. I think I'm going to go a different avenue for the year 2020. But okay. Same concepts, scary stories. But yeah, that's how we became friends, was just through our YouTube channel, and we became we became each other's biggest supporters and fans. And I think it's very special.
We definitely have. What is your personal or creepy, scary story that you want to tell us about?
I don't have one in particular. I have a ton, kind of like you do.
Yeah, right. What's the one that most stands out?
I'm going to go with my old house. So the first one that we bought definitely had a lot of negative energy in that household. And it was 50 years worth of hoarding. So when we first moved in, we bought it as is, and we had to clear out that house. We had 40-yard dumpsters total.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's
crazy.
Done when we left. So when you start cleaning up, the energy starts shifting, and things started to become active. And by active, I mean doors would open and cabinets would open. I had a friend who was helping us because we had a whole gang of people helping us clean the house out. And I think she said she was clairvoyant, and we were just standing outside talking, and all of a sudden she stops and goes, "Oh, honey, you're infested." What? She's yeah, there's you've got at least 3 here.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, and she's like, one of them's angry, which, of course, because we were cleaning out the house.
Yeah.
I believe that was the demon of death that my aunt encountered. We actually had her come and bless the house and pray over it. She has the gift of tongue. So
Okay.
she prayed for 40 years and then woke up one day with it.
Wow.
Yeah, like
That's
prayed for it for 40 years and woke up one day with that ability. So
pretty
that
cool.
happened. And we were in the basement. My sister and I were in the basement, and I was like, hey, come feel this, because it was heaviest in the laundry room. So like you can feel
Yeah.
like that suffocating pressure on your chest. And then it felt like somebody was like, you can tell when somebody's glaring at you.
Yeah, definitely.
So you had that mixture of that tension and that heavy glare. Just that evil feeling. And we're standing there. I'm like, do you feel it? And of course, I'm excited because I'm a freak like that. And all of a sudden she's like, ow. And we lift up her shirt and she had 2 scratch marks on her back. Yeah.
That's not good. I haven't had scratch marks as far as I know. Maybe when I was a child at my friend's house, but as far as I know, I haven't had any scratches thus far. So
Yeah, that's
count me lucky.
yeah, that's a good thing, because that's a malicious entity or spirit or whatever you want to call it. And
Yeah.
like she went home freaked out because it started to raise right away. She was in denial. She's like, no, I got bit by a bug, or I bumped up against something. And I'm like, dude, I was standing right next to you the whole time.
Wow. That's creepy.
Yeah. Lots of weird things happen, like recording for 13 Days of Halloween, telling real paranormal stories for my YouTube. And it took me 3 tries to talk about that house.
Wow.
The video
I
footage.
couldn't imagine.
It was awful. The video footage was bad. Oh, and then after I started doing that, doors opened. And I'm just like, oh.
I'd be like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah, it was random doors would open. I'm like, okay, I pissed something off. Go down, record again. Everything messed up. Go down a 3rd time, and like I'm wrapping up, and all of a sudden I just hear a bang in the basement. There's no one there. And I'm just like sitting there going, on camera.
Oh, yeah. That's
Trying
kind
not
of
to freak out.
that's very creepy.
So I got noise on the camera, like, and my reaction, you can't fake that.
Right. Like that one time when I was in the barn and that loud thumping noise, I was freaked.
That barn.
Super freaked.
There's something
Yeah.
in that barn.
Well, I don't want to give off a little bit. I mean, it's already going to be it's kind of hilarious. I'm talking about the EVP session that I have coming up now, or coming up this Sunday, but this is the past. When this podcast comes out, it's going to be in the past. So whatever that EVP is going to be, already people are going to listen to it already. So it's kind of weird.
I'm kind of excited to hear it.
As far as my friend told me there's something there. There is a female there. I'm going to say this now because, you know, of course, everybody heard it, but you haven't heard it yet either. No. But I said, is there a Mandy there? Or is because that's what popped up in my past videos. That's what I said in my past recordings of the Ouija board. And I think I had this app that brought up certain things. I can't remember what it was. It was just some free app on the phone.
Oh, I remember.
But apparently, it's a real app, because when I said Mandy, there's a little girl's voice saying, yeah.
Ooh, I have the goosebumps again. And usually when I get goosebumps, that means there's something there.
Yep. So the whole thing is, it's just completely like, ooh.
Well, because
I don't know.
You and I talk on like just a regular basis about what you're doing without, you know, so it's,
yeah,
I know what you're going through.
Yep.
And it's creepy.
Actually, what's kind of weird lately is I haven't heard any noises in the area I'm sitting in. I'm not sure why, but usually there would be like clinking noises, like snapping noises in this area. Kind of like the house settling, but it's not because there shouldn't be. It never does that. It's usually when I leave the room and Carla actually hears it, she will hear like weird noises, and she's the time when I was doing the dowsing rods and doing other stuff, she actually heard about not heard about, but she heard someone say hello.
Oof.
And there was nobody in here. So I think I left it in the barn because I said for it to stay in the barn and not follow me. It's not allowed to follow me.
Mhm.
So whatever happened, I think it's in the barn still. I haven't been in the barn since then. It's been a month or two now.
What do you think would be in the house, though?
I don't know.
Maybe,
I haven't heard.
Maybe it's something else, and it knows that there's something that wants you that's in the barn, and so they're kind of like, ganging up on you.
Maybe that'd be really
No,
creepy, really weird.
That's really bad.
Yeah, it would be.
That's not happening.
No, I hope not. Anyways, like, oh, jeez.
Sorry, knock on wood.
I have no wood. I got a plastic table.
Knock on your head. There you go.
Well, I thank you for being on my very first podcast, and I absolutely loved having you on here, if that made sense, because
Totally made sense.
usually mess up my stuff. But I think that will wrap it up for now on our very first podcast. Thank you, Melinda, for coming out.
Yeah, thanks
Coming
for having me on your first ever episode.
No problem. And maybe we might make it a thing. We already have in talks that her and I are going to be doing our own podcast together, so I think that'd be pretty cool.
I think it would be really cool. I don't know. We've got a good connection, you and I.
Definitely do. So I think that will end it now. Thank you all for watching on YouTube and listening on Anchor, and I will see you all very soon. Bye, everybody.